The City of Edmonton is considered a leader in the area of open government. Since 2009, it has been dedicated to using technology to make municipal information more open, transparent, and accessible. However, as with governments around the world, demonstrating the value of open government remains a challenge for the city. The goal of this project is to contribute to the creation of a framework for measuring the public value of open government. In the following video, we report on the results of our efforts. We review the academic literature on open government. We analyze 5 frameworks that have attempted to demonstrate the elements that produce public value. Finally, we offer some concluding analysis and recommendations for the City of Edmonton to measure value in their open government initiatives moving forward. As noted earlier, Edmonton defines open government in terms of openness, transparency, and accessibility. This image provides a visual representation of how Edmonton is trying to achieve open government and what its anticipated benefits will be. The approach illustrated here reflects how open government has been characterized in the academic literature and by other jurisdictions. In the United States, for example, President Obama's Open Government Directive required that government become more transparent, participatory, and collaborative. The push for open government is occurring around the world. Various approaches can be used to achieve open government and in turn enrich public value. Among other things, the goal of open government is to enable citizens to be regularly and continuously updated about what government services are offered, as well as to facilitate improved engagement. This screenshot shows the City of Edmonton's Open Data Catalog, which provides citizens with access to a range of data about city services. Although not inherently about the application of technology, open government nevertheless relies on the use of new media and new forms of communication to achieve its ends. Open government is enabled and propelled by digital technologies, which allow citizens to access, share, and manipulate government data. In this context, technology is only useful to the extent that it facilitates improved engagement and collaboration between government and the public. Having defined open government, we can now turn to a consideration of value. Broadly speaking, the concept of value has a long history. It has been debated in a variety of disciplines, from philosophy to politics to economics. However, economics has been the primary focus in the realm of public administration. In terms of public value, much of the research draws on the work of Mark Moore. In his seminal book, Creating Public Value, Moore urges public sector managers to define and achieve public value, rather than simply follow the mandate of their organization. He suggests that a useful articulation of public value can be achieved by integrating, first, substantive judgments of what would be valuable and effective, second, a diagnosis of political expectations, and third, hard-headed calculations of what is operationally feasible. Put differently, the 3 conditions that managers must consider when envisioning public value are politics, substance, and administration. Building on Moore's ideas, the literature emphasizes that public value should reflect aspects of fairness, democracy, and the process by which the public is engaged and consulted. Importantly, the provision of public value must adapt to changing contexts. In the context of contemporary networked governance, Stoker argues that the key objective of public value management should be to achieve greater effectiveness in tackling problems that the public cares most about. This echoes Moore's argument in favor of a holistic approach to public value, encompassing more than just narrow ideas about efficiency or user experience. Given its continued relevance, we used Moore's 3 criteria, administration, substance, and politics, when reviewing existing frameworks. Specifically, we looked at 5 frameworks: by the European Commission, Castelnuovo and Simonetta, Golubeva, the Center for Technology in Government, and Carunas-Sena and Deng. These frameworks consider a variety of sources and types of values. The European Commission, for example, considers 3 value drivers: efficiency, democracy, and effectiveness. Castelnuovo and Simonetta and Golubeva consider policy outcomes, and they incorporate Kelly, Mulligan, and Muir's 3 generators of public value: public services, public policy outcomes, and public trust. The CTG model includes citizen participation as a key component, and it describes public values in 7 general terms: economic, political, social, strategic, quality of life, ideological, and stewardship. Of these frameworks, we chose to use Carunas-Sena and Deng's because its drivers are more measurable and comparably less abstract. In addition, it reflects a broader, citizen-centric approach to public value. Finally, while other frameworks focus specifically on the internal benefits of e-government and open government, Carunas-Sena and Deng also consider how outcomes of specific initiatives contribute to public value. We adapted their framework to fit what we believe to be the unique needs of the City of Edmonton's Open Government Initiative. For example, we omitted 3 of Carunas-Sena and Deng's indicators, namely self-development, confidentiality, and environmental sustainability. In the original framework, these indicators measured transactional e-government services and energy savings related to internal infrastructure and transactional changes, and thus are not directly applicable to open government. The indicators or attributes that our proposed framework contains are presented in column 1, or the leftmost column. These, when established, determine if the contributors of public value, shown here in the middle column, are realized. Here is our recommended model again, presented in a slightly different form, this time highlighting the contributors of public value. We are confident that these components, namely delivery of open government initiatives, operating effective open government, and socially desirable outcomes, reflect the holistic and balanced view of public value espoused by Moore and others. We therefore recommend that the City of Edmonton adopt a framework that reflects these dimensions. In an appendix to our paper, we demonstrate how the framework can be applied to the city's Council on the Web initiative, assessing if public value is created. Perhaps the key lesson of this exercise is that indicators of public value are context dependent. Public value frameworks must adjust to changing public expectations and needs. And finally, regardless of the framework Edmonton ultimately chooses to use, its goal should not be to evaluate whether open government has been achieved. Rather, it should be to determine whether open government has produced public value.